Hi, my name is Diana. Welcome to this channel, and today I will be telling you about tips and things to prepare before your trip to Jamaica. I fell in love with dancehall music and dance over 13 years ago, and it was my dream to go to Jamaica and just, see it for myself. And finally, in 2017, it came true, and since then, I've been to Jamaica 8 times. I also organized 4 group trips, so I'll be sharing with you tips and things to prepare before your trip based on my experience and my own opinion. I'll be looking down a little bit because I have my notes here so that I know what to tell you and just to mention important things. Some of the tips will be more generic. You could apply it to just traveling in general, and then some of them will be more Jamaica specific. So first things first, your passport. Pause the video and check the expiry date on your passport. Make sure that when you enter Jamaica, your passport will be valid for more than 6 months at the moment of the arrival. So pause the video, check your passport. If this is not the case, you can still apply for a new passport. Then I'm gonna tell you, I think that it's very useful to take probiotics before going to Jamaica. Of course, I'm not a doctor, so maybe check it with your doctor or do research, see if it works for you. But to avoid any kind of stomach issues, diarrheas, and things like this on the spot, and just to prepare your body for a different set of bacteria. We have bacteria everywhere, good and bad ones. And if you go somewhere else, if you travel, especially far away from a place where you live, your body might not be used to it, or is not used to it, but might respond in a way that might not be the most pleasant for you. And taking probiotics will help your body prepare for a change of the environment. So I would recommend taking it a week before going to Jamaica or anywhere really, and then continuing for like a week during your trip, or maybe just the entire time, depending how you feel. And speaking of probiotics, I think it's also a good idea to have some supplements that work for you, for your body, and medications just in case. Just something that works for you. It's always good to be prepared and just have something with you in case of some kind of health emergency. You have pharmacies in Jamaica, but I think it's always good to have something with you. Then moving on to the travel insurance. This is a good idea to check if maybe your current insurance covers medical costs in Jamaica. If not, you can buy a travel insurance online, but just make sure that it covers medical treatments in Jamaica. Anything like that, any kinds of medical examination treatments in Jamaica, basic ones are very expensive. A friend of mine had to go to the hospital there during her trip, and she had to pay around 1,000 euros for some basic examinations and stuff. So, I think it's good to have it. So, moving on to the travel form. You most probably don't need a visa to go to Jamaica. You can, of course, check it online depending on which nationality you have, which nationality is on your passport. But most countries don't need a visa, but you need to fill in an online form, an immigration form, filling in your basic information. Like it's all in there. I'm gonna also add the link in the description down below. You have to fill in basic information about you, your address, where you'll be staying in Jamaica, for how long, which airline are you traveling with, your occupation, things like this. And then they will send you to your email like a confirmation that you fill in this form, and you will need it at the border control in Jamaica. And then there they will give you like a visa on the arrival, free of cost, and they will put a stamp in your passport, and then you are free to go. And now, depending on where your passport is from, so for example, I have a Polish passport, and with that passport, I can stay in Jamaica with that visa on arrival for 30 days. I know that some other countries in Europe, you can stay in Jamaica like that for 90 days. So it really depends where you are from, where you have your passport, and that's the amount of days that you can stay with that visa on the arrival. If you want to stay longer, you could apply at the Jamaican embassy that is closest to you, which you can again find out online depending on where you are. Moving on, just a kind of side note, but also not. In Jamaica, you have two airports. One is in Montego Bay, and that's a very touristy place. Mostly, beach holidays, all-inclusive resorts, that kind of vibe. And then you have a second airport in Kingston, Jamaica. That's the capital city of Jamaica. But there is Kingston in different countries. So if you want to go to Kingston, Jamaica, check if that's Kingston, Jamaica. I know of a girl who wanted to go to Kingston, Jamaica, but booked Kingston, and then after some time it turned out that it was to Kingston, Canada. So just be sure you check out exactly the country as well. Be mindful of that. Moving on, I wanted to mention about the currency. In Jamaica, they have their own currency called Jamaican dollar, with which you can pay everywhere on the island. They do accept in touristy places US dollars, but you are not able to pay with US dollars all over the island. So if you're in more local places like Kingston, for example, I don't think you can pay anywhere there in US dollars, to be honest. It's all Jamaican dollars. I think it's good to have Jamaican dollars with you. And there are many ATMs all over Jamaica, so you don't have to worry about exchanging money before going to Jamaica. You can just withdraw the money from any ATM on the spot. You also have ATMs at the airport, but next to like some shopping centers and gas stations, so and in many places basically. So don't worry about that. Just there is a fee most of the times in most ATMs. Right now, it's about €3 per transaction just to withdraw the money. And keep in mind that you can, in most ATMs, you can withdraw maximum of 30,000 Jamaican dollars, which sounds a lot, but it's not. Right now in euros, it's about 180 euros. That depends on, of course, the rate, the currency exchange. But if you want to withdraw more, then you would have to put in your card again and then fill in the amount again and withdraw the money from just another time, and then pay the commission fee again. If you pay in Jamaican dollars, it's also going to be like beneficial to you. Most of the times when they ask for a price in US dollars, is more than what you would pay in Jamaican dollars. And yeah, again, then you can pay anywhere on the island with Jamaican dollars, and that's not necessarily the case with US dollars. Of course, in ATMs, like most of the cards are working as like what I remember. Definitely like Maestro card, Visa card, MasterCard, American Express. I think these are like probably the most popular ones. So they work in most of the ATMs. Some of them maybe don't. You cannot withdraw with like from all of these cards, but always on the ATM it says like which cards will be working, which not. So, but you will definitely find some that the cards that I mentioned will work. Actually, speaking about that, make sure that you check with your bank or maybe in your online banking if you are able to withdraw worldwide. I know that, for example, I live in the Netherlands, and there you can just log into your online banking, and in the settings, the default setting is that you can withdraw the money within Europe, all over Europe, but you can change that you can withdraw the money worldwide, and then you'll be able to do that in Jamaica. If you're in another country, if you live in another country, again, see if you can check it online with your online banking, or just maybe directly ask your think. And how can you do that? Another point is about the charger. In Jamaica, they have the American, the US power plug. So if you are from the US, or that's the charger that you're using, power plug that you're using, then you're good to go. If not, if you're in Europe, for example, then you would need to have an adapter, so that you can charge your devices in Jamaica. I'm gonna try to like insert a picture. I will try to remember to insert a picture about what it looks like. Moving on to clothes. Jamaica there is just summer there all year round, so it's really warm, hot all year round. I think between June and August it gets a little warmer, but like maybe 4 Celsius degrees, so it's not like a big difference. And then December, January, February, maybe will be like 3 degrees less. But overall, it's about 30 Celsius degrees all year round, so it's really hot. Mostly sunny. You have like the rainy season, more or less like it rains more somewhere between September, beginning of November. But you also definitely see sun, so you are good to go with like your short crop tops. Maybe in some restaurants, some offices, they will ask you to cover your shoulders or have a little bit longer shorts, but overall like people are quite free with their clothing there, so that's what you can wear. And of course in the beach, some bikini. But I must say that in the winter time, somewhere between December and February, personally, I get really cold anywhere and everywhere. So in the evening, sometimes I do get a little cooler. So I might need like something with long sleeve, something thin with long sleeve. But if you normally, are always warm, then you probably don't even need that. Then I wanted to talk a little bit about the safety. I heard so many times from people the question like, "Oh, you've been to Jamaica, is it safe?" And I'm like, well, obviously I've been there several times and I'm still here. And I mean, jokes aside, like personally, I feel even safer in Europe than in some countries, in Jamaica than in some countries in Europe, because in many countries in Europe, I feel like the culture is just more self-centered, egoistic. Everybody's on their phone. Everybody is just minding their own business and rushing everywhere. But in Jamaica, there's still this sense of community, and people are just helping and supporting each other. And if there's something going on, like there will be somebody, even a random person, that would like help you. And I feel like in Europe, that's not necessarily the case anymore, unfortunately. And yeah, but just to take some precautions, I would say like don't walk outside when it's dark. Then always take a taxi from point A to B, just to be safe, just to be sure. And also ask locals, because they really know what is going on in certain areas at certain time. So yeah, if you're planning to go somewhere, ask somebody, I don't know, in the shop, on the street, in the Airbnb or hotel where you're staying, is it a safe place to go? And locals know. So ask them, observe locals, ask questions, and also when it comes to culture, I think it's like super important always, and everywhere, to respect local culture. And if you are not sure about something, if that's appropriate to do or not, again, ask locals, or just observe them, and you will be able to also see like what might be okay and what might not be okay to do. Almost the last point about the language. The official language is English, so in all kinds of like restaurants, shops, offices, they do speak English. People also speak their local dialect called Patois, which sounds a lot like English if you really listen closely. They also mix up a lot like Patois and English. So at the beginning, you just might need to get used to it a little bit. And I know that for many people at the beginning it's a bit unclear because it's just a sound that or accent that they are not fully used to. But with time, you're gonna be good and you will understand. But yeah, again, like everybody speaks English, so if you can understand this video or follow, you'll be able to communicate in Jamaica as well. And actually, I forgot to mention when it comes to like, well, taxis and stuff. This point is regarding transportation. There is a bus company called Nosford Express, and it's a big bus, very good quality, on time, and you can travel with that bus from like main parts of Jamaica, or like the most popular, most known places. Like for example, you can travel from airport in Montego Bay to Negril, Ocho Rios, Kingston, Portland, Port Antonio, and several other places. So that's a reliable way of moving around. And of course they will only like the stops are only in like the main places and one of these places. But you know, from then you can just take a taxi, local taxi, and move around and go to a place that you wanna see. Otherwise, when it comes to like a local public transport, that's not really reliable, I would say, when it comes to like schedule, or there is no schedule really. If you want to take like a public bus somewhere, you know, from one city or town to another, you will probably have to wait a long time until the bus is full. So you never really know when it leaves. And it's also going to take a longer time to get from one spot to another. So I think if you really, you know, want to go somewhere and you want to be on your own schedule and time, it's best to just ask a taxi driver if they can drive you from this place to that place. And then, you know, you don't have to depend on anybody or work on anybody's time. Thank you for watching this video. I also organize, like I said, trips to Jamaica for now for dancers, people who are interested in dance hall and want to explore more about the culture and the dance aspect of it. I'm gonna add all the details down below in this description box so you can check it out, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.